Being healthy is just an anchor to everything that you do. You got to reinvent yourself every single time. And that gets quite confusing because you know about consistency and getting in the gym. And if you want to become, good at fighting, if you want to become good at cycling, if you want to become good at just weightlifting and just looking good in general, if you want to get good at calisthenics and doing muscle ups, so many different aspects that you want to get good at, but you need to stay consistent to it. So then when you try and transition between, say you was doing weightlifting for so many years and now you're like, I'm getting kind of big but I'm not really athletic, let me do the halfway house and try calisthenics for a bit, and then you get this little arguments coming in your head where it's like, if I train this new way, if I hop into martial arts and you see the physique of those guys, like when you, because when you go into it, you go into it full hearted, like you become that person. It's not like you're a weightlifter who does martial arts. You'll sign up to an MMA gym and that's what you'll do for months on end. When it comes to calisthenics, you'll just do it months on end until you get it right. And you sort of get this battle in your head where you'll lose some of the progress that you made in one aspect when you switch to the other. You'll lose. I mean, for me especially, it was the shoulders. I feared that I'd lose my shoulders if I did boxing, for example, because then it would because you grow a different type of muscle and your physique just changes because you're not progressively overloaded on the shoulders. So it's like now that you did the boxing thing, you want to get good at boxing, but you don't want to lose the shoulders. And so it becomes really difficult. And this is especially harder when you're entering a different season where fitness isn't a priority. Let's say that you're prioritizing work or you got exam periods. And now it's like, well, I don't want to be sacrificing my studying, or I don't want to be sacrificing my progress to my business or my outreach or my sales skills or just doing the volume there. But also I don't want to lose my fitness as well. And so that I see you've got to reinvent yourself. You get into this sort of you get into this false paradigm where you keep thinking that you'll lose everything, you'll head back to zero, and you're scared of just that little bit of regression. But when you're entering a different season of life, when you're becoming a different person, let's say that your fitness was the whole thing for like 6 months straight. You got the physique you wanted. Now you're like, okay, I'm at a level where I can maintain that. And then now I want to do this next thing. And then you get really deep into this next thing. You get really deep into the business cycle, just locking in or becoming smarter or something like that. And you don't want to lose all that progress, but a big part of it is being able to recognize that if you align all your actions to that new thing, you'll get progress in that so much faster, and then you can return back to the fitness thing. And during the whole thing, your body will change. You won't look as aesthetic as you used to do, and that's absolutely fine. This is sort of just to give you that green flag that you can do that. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. Predominantly because when you step into that new version of yourself, when that growth of discomfort comes in and you become the guy who's all in on business, and that's where you sort of gamble all your chips at, your life becomes to reflect that, your identity begins to reflect that, your daily actions begin to reflect that. And this is the part that people that you might forget is that your body will reflect that as well. If you're going into like a monk mode phase of like you're just fasting until the work's done. And I've gone into periods where I've gone more than 24 hours, 32 hours of just straight fasting, just water and black coffee and no calories, no nothing. I had salt as well just to avoid the headaches. And your body will naturally make changes to that as well. And that's absolutely fine because if you think about it, you shift in your reality when you align your entire day to it, you've almost like shifted realities in a sense. If you take that parallel universe theory, I'm not saying it's true, I'm not saying it's not, but let's say there's a version of you who's really into fitness, then there's a version of you that's really into business. They're living completely different lives, they're living completely different actions, their diet, their sleep, who they're speaking to, because you'll naturally come across people more in your vicinity and in your space. If you're in business, that's networking. If you're in the gym, you're just getting into a social flow on the gym floor with people and just joining in workouts with the guys and just this, that, and the other. You're meeting different people. You'll look different when you're in the fitness one. You might want to look better, look the part. When you're in the business season, you might come a bit more raggedy like me, where you're just putting on wherever and you're just almost getting that bummy in a sense. There's a reason I got this hood on. It's because I haven't had a haircut in so long. It's still decent to be fair. But you might as well just consider that a different universe or a different version of yourself. You've basically just hopped to a different universe. And in that universe, you look completely different. And if it's so distinct and everything that you do, and you've changed your identity, you've changed your beliefs, you change your emotions with things as well. Like the gym used to be exciting and fun. Now it's just this disciplined thing that you do just to just to tick it off the box, stay healthy and keep it moving while you're building the business. So even your emotions will change, your thoughts will change in the sense that before fitness was like the thing you were looking forward to. Do I take pre-workout? Do I not? Now it's like you've dialed it to make it so simplistic that you don't need to think about it again so you can work on the other thing. You've shifted you've shifted your thoughts, you've shifted your emotions, you've shifted everything at this point. What is different? What is the same? Is probably the better question I need to ask. And if you recognize that, I think you'll find a lot more peace in the changes that your thoughts and feelings would be towards this new aspect of life. Because as you're shifting, that old version of yourself is going to be arguing with you because what used to be fun no longer is. What used to be the main thing in life no longer is. The way people are treating you and speaking to you, the conversations, the depth, the type of people, they're all changing. And that's discomforting because faced you've not faced that version, you've not faced that reality, that side of people before. And so a good indicator that you're moving at a fast pace is that you're constantly uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, you're good. If you're getting comfortable, it's time to elevate it before the money comes into your account, before you get the desired goal, the dream aesthetic or whatever, before the world shows it to you. You're going to have to show it to yourself because the guy who's in the version of you 6 months from now, who's in perfect shape, given that you did everything right, is getting up at X time, is eating X meals, doing it this consistently, is doing the same workouts, doing everything. As the version of you who started and decided that that would be his daily actions today. And so there's no actual difference in who you are at these stages. The only real true difference is that in one hand, the world's given it to you, Allah's given it to you, the universe has given it to you, you've achieved it, you've taken the action. And then the other one, you haven't been rewarded yet. There's a lag period. And that lag period is what we know as discomfort. If you're uncomfortable with the things that you're doing every day, but you know it's the thing you should be doing, you're on the right track. Let's say you get to 80 kilos and you're comfortable there, you can happily maintain and coast. That means two things. That means A, you need to recalibrate the scales. You need to go into the bigger weight, shift the targets, body recomp, switch to a different workout. Maybe it's the time for you to get good at the bag work and getting your cardio up. So you need to change the goal in that sense. Or B, you need to change the playing field entirely, where before your priority was getting to 80 kilos. Now you've got that, maintain that, and shift your identity, your reality, your thoughts, your emotions, and be the type of person that can excel at this other field. And you need to do that as fast as possible. Let's say you get to 80 kilos lean. The minute you realize you're coasting, you either up the ante and go into another season of fitness, or you pivot and you enter a season of business. That causes the new lag, that causes the new discomfort. Even though the version of yourself that's making 2K a month online, the version of yourself that's making 10K a month online is doing X actions. Those are the same actions and things that you need to do at this stage, given that that's the transition that you need to do. What have I actually just talked about for the last 10 minutes? It makes sense though. You're at 2K a month the minute you get 2K in a month. I coasted for 3 months. Well, I was like 1.3, 1.9, 2.5, which I defined as just being at 2K a month. And I coasted there for a bit in the sort of between around 9 to that. Like I didn't hit it until last month, but the minute I hit it, the month I hit it, it wasn't that like that's 2K a month, I'm going to coast at that. I immediately set myself to 10K a month. And it wasn't even for the money at this point. It is, it always is. But it was more of a sense of I feel like I'd be achieving nothing in life had I stuck to the level of comfort and the version of reality that I settle for. And I feel like everything that's alive needs to grow. And I feel like growth is discomfort. So if you're not feeling comfort, you're feeling settlement, you're feeling the trade that you made in. That's where you leave the table. That's where, and you can do that, but you probably shouldn't, because if that resonates with you, somewhere along the line you've compromised. Somewhere along the lines you've forgotten what the goal was, or change your goals to the point where you no longer recognize that past version of yourself that wished those goals, the you from a year ago, the you from 6 months ago, because you finally put pen to paper, you finally said and did the things you did the things you said you were going to do, and now you're coasting. If that version of you, that past self that wished he had those things, was in the same body, the same state of mind that the you today, if he was in that boat, he wouldn't settle. Because in a weird way, the version of you 6 months ago, that past self that dreamed of having what you currently have, didn't do it for the sake of just the number or the metric. It was to satisfy something much deeper. And that's what you need to be chasing. It's what your world is and what your reality is, and the things that are coming to you, that the universe is allowing to come into you because you've done the right things, wasn't the actual goal itself. It was rather the pursuit of it. And the only cure to help that hunger, that need inside, is to change and reinvent yourself every 30 days, every 90 days. And you need to accept the fact that you're going to be uncomfortable every step of the way. That every single day when you wake up is uncomfortable. And that's a sign that you're doing the right thing. Every day it's like, this is a new thing. That's something you should be going for. I'm just saying a bunch of words at this point. Lock in.